John Durham's report, which I think was missing a lot, but the Inspector General missed a lot of key misconduct by prosecutors in that matter. The real question here is, why is this January 6th report taking so long? Why? What he really said yesterday is he's going to release it after the election. Why after the election? Why is this taking so long? What is he hiding? Yesterday, when he was asked point blank how many FBI agents were in the crowd, undercover FBI agents or others in law enforcement in the crowd, he just simply refused to answer the question. I don't know what's taking so long.
No, I've got a bunch of testimony. They did admit, indeed, they were there. And you've got this other senior agent who they tried to get rid of, talking about how he saw it, reported it, and then they tried to get rid of him. They've got to be concerned.
This guy's a lifer. He's part of the establishment. His previous investigations into Russian collusion, I say, fell short. I think it's outrageous that he's not going to issue his report until after the election.
No, I agree. But larger than that, they admitted that the feds have destroyed most of the videotapes. That's why they can't even release them. So they've destroyed evidence. Exfoliation.
Yeah, this has been a huge problem. Look, the January 6th committee hearings were a farce. They used selectively edited, in some case, AI enhanced videos. They suborned perjury by a number of the witnesses, and then they erased all the evidence of their crimes behind them. Yet they continue to insist that the conclusions they reached were accurate. I'm very disappointed in Speaker Johnson because he should have appointed a committee to study the January 6th committee and report to the American people what actually happened. But then again, this is the same guy who folded 2 days ago on attaching the SAVE Act, which would have basically said you have to be an American citizen to vote, folks, from the budgeting process, which is kind of the last piece of leverage that he had. Now he turns around and he introduces a bill with that requirement, a bill that has zero chance of passing the U.S. Senate before the next election. I've tried to give the Speaker every benefit of the doubt, but he's just not a fighter. The problem here, as you know, Alex, it's not the crazy left-wing Marxist Democrats. We know what their agenda is. Our problem are the feckless, gutless, weak-kneed, lily-livered, white wine swelling, country club establishment Republicans who just never want to fight. They never want to fight. That's our number one problem.
Roger, shifting gears here, because I don't want to just cover these side issues that are still very important. I want to get to the heart of the matter, just in the larger situation of 39 days out from the most important election in world history. I've got a lot of polls here, but you're good at looking at them all. I had the Rasmussen head pollster on last week. He said Trump is surging in the battleground states. He said landslide with fraud in 2016. There's a lot to have the head pollster say. There's evidence of that. But Trump was able to make it past it because of such a landslide. Then there wasn't as big a landslide, something you said people were too confident in 2000, so he did win, but barely so they could steal it. He's saying he thinks that the evidence shows from everything he's looking at that it's the biggest landslide yet and that they can't overpower it. That's why they tried to kill Trump, obviously, twice that we know of. And then we've got Zuckerberg saying he's a libertarian now, not a Democrat. He wants to be nice to Republicans. That's a rat leaving the sinking ship. We've got new polls out saying these are the best polls yet for Trump. That's a town hall article about that. I don't want to be overconfident here like you warned 4 years ago, but man, this is looking strong.
Look, Alex, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not predicting a big win, but I am saying I think the race is moving towards President Trump for two reasons. One, he's been very focused and very disciplined. Both his advertising in the swing states, which not all of us get to see, has really focused on the key issue of the economy, the key issue of inflation, the key issue of war, and the fact that they're moving us closer and closer to World War III. Those ads have been extraordinarily effective. And the race does appear to me to be moving inexorably towards the president. I'm feeling better and better about the race. I don't want to jinx it. No, it's not going to be a landslide. I don't agree with that. But I do think that Donald Trump supporters are more loyal. They're more intense. Guys like Charlie Kirk, guys like Cliff Maloney, guys like Scott Pressler, these guys have done heroic voter registration drives in the swing states, particularly Pennsylvania, which I think is going to be crucial. We are not getting outworked on the ground, not this time, not at all. I think the Trump campaign has been extraordinarily well run. Their advertising and their messaging in the key markets. Remember, we know today how Utah is going to vote. We know today how Massachusetts is going to vote. This will come down to be 60 counties in about 7 states that are going to determine the outcome. And the other thing that's going on here is people are figuring out that there is no there there with Kamala Harris. The more they risk putting her out for individual interviews, the more the voters learn that she has no substance. It doesn't appear to me, based on the interview I saw yesterday, that she knows what a tariff is. I'm not sure she knows what a tariff is.
I want to play you a few clips here that are just stunning. Here's a short one. Biden claims Kamala for policy failures of the past 4 years. And then we've got Kamala saying that we've got to stop the policies the last 4 years. That's clip 15. So play clip 1 and 15 back to back. These are just extraordinary.
And as vice president, there wasn't a single thing that I did that she couldn't do. Mm-hmm. And so I was able to delegate her responsibility on everything from foreign policy to domestic policy.
We just need to move past the failed policies that we have proven don't work.
And then I've got more of this from them. Now she was the best ever. That she says she built the wall. Now he's saying, she was in charge of everything. As you warned, they're trying to make her more and more presidential, maybe even remove Biden, and then have her in there as the first female president, basically, appointed as a major gimmick. What's your view on that now?
I think last week, for example, when Joe Biden put on a Trump cap, was photographed doing it, when he posed with a bunch of school kids wearing Trump T-shirts. When you saw that entire interview on The View, I think he's still very angry about being forced out of this race. When he was asked about why he got out, he basically said, well, my polling wasn't all that bad. It was about the same as hers is today. I thought I could win. Most of the folks I trust thought I could win, but there were some in the Democrat Party that were concerned that I couldn't win. This guy is very unhappy about being forced out, and he knows exactly what he's doing. He didn't put on that hat because it was some kind of a mental slip. He knows exactly what he's doing. This is his way of sticking it to Kamala Harris and Barack Obama, who forced him out. I think the reports by Seymour Hersh, the Pulitzer Prize-winning former New York Times reporter, who said that they threatened him with the 25th Amendment to force him out of the race, are accurate. And as we've talked about on this show, I still think it's possible as they start looking at deteriorating poll numbers and Trump beginning to inexorably gain, that they may think that elevating her to the presidency is the only way to win this race, trying to make her a historic figure, even though she has no substance. I still don't rule out the fact that they may yet remove him under the 25th Amendment, which simply requires the acquiescence of the vice president, a majority of the cabinet, and then he would have to be sustained in the Congress, which, of course, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi can most likely deliver. So he's a problem for them. Look what they did to him. The sitting president of the United States goes to what is his final Democrat National Convention. They push his address out of prime time on the first night, and then they tell him to get out of town. He's not even there when his own vice president is nominated for president. He got 17 million votes. Alex, he got 71% of the vote in the Democrat primaries and caucuses. No one voted to nominate her, yet they're whining constantly about democracy.
Well, we've all got to be energized. Pray for Trump. He's stronger than ever, and we've just really got to have him protected. I know Trump's taking things seriously now, canceling some events, and this is a critical time. RogerStoneZone.com. People can find all your great shows and books, everything you do there. StoneZone.com. Roger, we'll talk to you soon.
Alex, God bless you. Great to be with you. And look, in the fight to save InfoWars, there's nothing more important. The idea they would try to steal your intellectual property, steal real.
Hold on, Roger. Hold on. I meant to ask you about this. Do 5 more minutes, since I didn't want to raise my own issues here, but it's bigger than me, and it's setting a precedent. Stay there. We'll come right back to you and have you speak for 5 minutes on that. I mean, all the news I haven't hit yet, and so much more. Please stay with us. 11 weeks ago, the U.S. Justice Department trustee assigned to my case, personal and business bankruptcy, ordered without a court order or any reason the doors of this facility shut. They lied and said it would just be in Houston. Judge Lopez had nothing to do with it. Then it hit the news they were going to close us. No judge's order, no nothing, just the Justice Department. Who'd been involved in the case, harassing me from the beginning for over a year and a half. People are blown away by it. I refused to go along with it. I said I'd call the police on them. They didn't have any orders. They backed down. Then they went to court 2 weeks later and said, we want him removed. The judge listened to him and said, you're all fired. The CRO had been appointed by the court, and the Justice Department appointed person that the court had let into it. And they had a Justice Department committee, all this stuff. Now, I'm in personal bankruptcy. I agreed to sell the assets of Free Speech Systems, the website, the shopping cart, and equipment. And there was going to be an auction on the 24th of October. Then they moved to the 30th. The Democratic Party running all this, the FBI, CIA, it's all coming out in the news, didn't want that. They want me off the air by early November. This is in the court filings. They said, we don't want money when it shut down. And the judge said, no, it's gonna sell. There's buyers out there that are patriots that I'd work with. They have to outbid that. They don't want to do that. So they announced, and I knew this 2 days ago, it had announced again, it hit Bloomberg, AP, Reuters, will put Bloomberg up. That the Justice Department is intervening. Alex Jones bankruptcy trustee sale efforts challenged by DOJ. They rarely get involved in bankruptcies, but they got involved in mine. They're unable through just pure vigilantism to shut us down 11, 12 weeks ago. Got an egg on their face, and now they've come back. They want us shut down and just close and don't even let them sell the assets. You heard that. So it's a gamble, but we were doing it. Only move we had left. And they obviously got our phones tapped and stuff, and no, some bidder's coming. Okay, they're going to have an issue on their hands. And they don't want to do that. They've got big billionaire backers, they claim. They've even told that in the court. We'll see what happens. Alex Jones bankruptcy trustee sale efforts challenged by DOJ. That's because they're getting ready to try to take Trump out, and once he's president-elect, they don't want us on air during that fight. They don't want us telling the truth. We're reaching tens of millions conservatively a day. Some days 50, 60 million now. I can't do this without funding. I'm out of money. They took all my money I had, and it wasn't a lot during the bankruptcy. I am literally on empty myself, and I have to pay for the legal challenges of all this in court. And I have to fight them, and that's an hour-long story right there. They're trying to take my physical name and say they own it. They're trying to take my social media. This is a critical fight. So I need you to go to the AlexJonesStore.com. That's separate from Free Speech, but they're advertisers here, big supporters, and get Alex Jones t-shirts, Patriot t-shirts. There's new great designs. We'll put some on screen for you. And go to the AlexJonesStore.com and get the ball caps, the t-shirts, all of it. You get entered to win for the big pickup truck at $10,000 cash and all that. And then the contest is over on the 30th of October, strangely enough. We need the funds. These are great t-shirts. I need your aid. Go to the AlexJonesStore.com right now and support that sponsor. That's the critical place to support. The AlexJonesStore.com. Stand with us and support our outside sponsor. DrJonesDaniels.com and the InfoWars store. The products are ready to ship. You'll get them. InfoWarsStore.com, the InfoWars MD, the gummies, the CBD tincture, the nitric boost. It's all there at InfoWarsStore.com. Now go now.
This is the InfoWars.